Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. We're talking booster sets in this video. They're the largest and most important component in Konami's delivery system of getting us, the players, the newest cards and archetypes. They can change the game, add new mechanics, and sometimes flip the meta on its head. We all have our favorite packs, but many have wondered which ones are the best. So I've decided to take a crack at answering that question in a video I'm going to call the top 10 booster sets of all time, the Yu-Gi-Oh hierarchy. Now, just for reference, I've decided to rank the sets based on certain variables such as, but not limited to, the amount of really good and viable cards came in the set, how big of an impact the set actually had on the competitive meta, and of course, the amount of competitive archetype support / introductions that the set had. So this is going to be completely fair, as I've also decided to pick one set from every single series of Yu-Gi-Oh! So everybody can pretty much feel like they got represented here. Number 10, Starstrike Blast from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I actually had a really hard time deciding between this set and the Shining Darkness. Starstrike Blast had Glow Up Ball, the Shining Darkness had Spore. Starstrike Blast introduced Karakuri in the game, and it gave GK his Recruiter, which made them tier 1, while the Shining Darkness introduced Infernity in the game, and it gave X-Saber's Dark Soul and Bogart Knight, which made them tier 1. But I went with Starstrike Blast not only for the underappreciated hand traps, which it gave us, such as Skullmeister, Swift Scarecrow, Droll and Lockbird, but also for the Dragoonity support and then the obvious power cards like Formula Synchron and Vanity's Emptiness. Number 9, Light of Destruction from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. So a less than stellar duelist may assume I only listed this set because it introduced one of the most beloved and unique archetypes of all time in Lightsworn, but I'm sure that you guys definitely know better. Not only did Light of Destruction give us gems such as Fossil Dyna and Substitute, but with one card, it literally invigorated one of the strongest decks of all time. That card being, of course, Gladiator Beast Quasaris. Number 8, the Duelist Genesis from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I could probably get away with putting the Duelist Genesis in the top 10 based on the fact that it introduced Synchros into the game, but if you compare it to a set like Generation Force, which introduced us to Xyz, well, they kind of sucked in that set, while the first Synchros were, pretty damn amazing. Goyo Guardian, Thought Ruler Archfiend, Stardust Dragon, those cards were good for years. In addition, the Glad Beast and Lightsworn support was top notch. War Chariot, Charge of the Light Brigade, GB A Quest, those cards were really good at the time and still are today. And let us not forget that this set also introduced a brand new type into the game, Psychic. Number 7, Pharaoh Servant from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. So Pharaoh Servant may have not actually had any archetypes, but it sure as hell made up for it with a shit ton of broken ass cards. Whether you needed to bring back monsters, lock down speller traps, just hope that you can luck sack a victory, this set pretty much had you covered. Premature Burial, Genzo, Call of the Haunted, Imperial Order, Limit or Removal, those are just some of the power cards that this set released. And that's not even mentioning how Cold Wave and Time Seal were freaking commons. Number 6, Magic Ruler from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. So this is the booster set when I started playing the game, and it is definitely my personal favorite set and the one that's closest to my heart. Magic Ruler's name alone pretty much sums up what you're in store for, and it really does deliver on the bill of goods that it promises. If you're looking for a set with the best and most powerful collection of spells in the game, well, here it is. Painful Choice, Snatch Steal, Giant Trinade, Confiscation, Forceful Sentry, Delinquent Duel, Mystical Space Typhoon. Like, how many cards did I just name are either limited or banned? Magic Ruler also gave us the fantastic attribute recruiters a la Shining Angel and Mystic Tomato. These are cards that would continue to see play over half a decade later. Number 5, Legacy of Darkness from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. To this day, I'm not sure if any other set had as many what the fuck were they thinking cards as LOD had. Legacy of Darkness was already an incredible set just based off of the excellent Warrior, Fiend, and Dragon support combined with the killer traps. I'm talking about Bottomless Trap Horn, Royal Oppression. But then you also realize that this was the set that gave us things like Fiber Jar, Last Turn, and Yada Gurasu. Number 4, Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal. Holy fucking power creep, Batman. This, in my personal opinion, is one of 3 sets to change this game's history, where I feel like the power creep was so high that it made everything before it pretty much irrelevant. It's cool that this set had some Fire Fist support, but let's be real here, you don't care about that shit. Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy gave birth to arguably the strongest archetype in this game's history in Dragon Rulers, and just as shockingly powerful, Spellbook of Judgment, one of the top 5 worst design cards ever. Tachyon did have a lot of other good cards that are definitely worth mentioning, like Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack, but it really boils down to this was the set that released an archetype so strong, Konami had to ban half of it after one format. Number 3, Phantom Darkness from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. If you don't know what happened to the game after Phantom Darkness was released, consider yourself lucky, because I actually lived through that shit, and good grief did the game ever change. Meet set number 2 on the very short list of sets that power creeped the fuck out of the game and changed everything. Not only did Dark Arm, Allure, and the Legion of Darkness accelerate the pace of the game through the roof, but OTKs were rampant because the game was way too fast and because 2800 beaters who could clear the board were way too easy to drop. See Dark Arm Dragon, see Dark Lord Zerato, see Dark Magician of Chaos. Are you sensing a theme here? With all of that said, this set also gave birth to the Shadow of Priestess of Ohm FTK, because that was fun, right? No, not really. It also gave Six Samurais the tool that they needed to be tier 1 for a very short time in Six Samurai United, and this is still one of the only booster sets that warranted a emergency ban list. That's how powerful Phantom Darkness really was. Number 2, Invasion of Chaos from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Probably the most revered set in this game's history, and for good reason. IOC introduced a collection of monsters so powerful they could easily rival the Dark Ones of Phantom Darkness or the rulers of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Konami thought that it would be a good idea to release a bunch of monsters that could only be summoned by banishing other ones. The problem was they kind of made them stronger than 99% of other monsters in the game, and they were really easy to summon at that. Even the member of the Chaos team that didn't even work like a Chaos monster ended up becoming the most powerful monster in the game at one point, as well as the Chaos themed spell Dimension Fusion, which basically proved that everything Chaos related in this set was just broke as fuck. Honorable mentions include the Shining Darkness and Magician's Force, and finally, number 1, Duelist Alliance from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. This is going to be the point of the video where the dislike button explodiates. Yes, I just made that word up. But in all seriousness, this is probably unexpected to a lot of you, but quite frankly, it shouldn't be. Duelist Alliance is the 3rd and final set of the small list of sets that power creep the game so hard, all other archetypes could do was just sit in the corner and cry. Duelist Alliance takes the top spot not only for the profound impact that it had on the meta, nor did I give it the top spot because of the loads of great cards that it had at its disposal. I rank this number 1 because it did something so impressive I don't think we will ever see it again in this game's history. Duelist Alliance gave us 3 tier 1 archetypes ready to go right out of the box, and maybe just as impressive, not only did one of them completely resurrect the fusion summon mechanic, but the other was a TCG exclusive. It's never going to happen again. I don't think we're ever going to see a set like Duelist Alliance, and in my personal opinion, it is the most complete set ever. So let me know what you guys think of my top 10 list. Were there any sets that I missed? What do you think is the best set of all time? Leave that in the comment sections below. Thank you for watching, as always. Subscribing makes life happy.